Hey, Spartans. Welcome to 2026. It is a new year, and I wanted to take a moment to kind of just run through a few things. It definitely is not going to be everything, because even as exhaustive as I feel like this is, I'm sure there's plenty I'm forgetting and not putting on here, which is a lot. But anyway, I just wanted to quickly get my thoughts down and put them out there for anyone who cares to listen and watch, and kind of go over how I saw things with the God-forsaken year that was 2025. Um, so first of all, starting out, Doge was a scam. Yeah, straight up. It cost more money than they saved. Yeah, they didn't save anything. They didn't save one dime. But they shut down a lot of agencies and they fired a lot of people, which one of those was USAID. So, killed thousands upon thousands of children and poor people across the world, you know. So there's that, I guess. Um, Great job, Elon, Trump, Rubio. I know how you detest the poor, and, so, good job. Um, Tariffs are not bringing in near as much money as they want to say. And even though they are bringing in money, they're also driving up prices. And we're seeing that across everything now. Even people who were all in on the tariffs are starting to notice how high those grocery bills, electric bills, utilities, basically everything is going up in price. Um, he ran on getting the prices down on day one, and now we're just going to say they're better, even though you're getting a lot less for the same price. Or the price is just going up, or the shrinkflation is making you think you're still getting the same thing for the same price when they're cutting back a few ounces on everything here and there. Farmers, farmers got screwed over because the tariffs with China killed their market. And so China didn't want to buy anything. And so, especially the soybean farmers were getting killed. Their entire market was just gone, like 20% of it or something. Something crazy. Um, and then the ranchers got killed because their beef prices were going up. And then Trump decides to send billions to Argentina to buy foreign beef to help, as he thought, bring down the beef prices, which it actually didn't do at all. But then the farmers got screwed over even more because Argentina, China started buying soybeans and farm products more from them and nothing from us. And then Trump decided to give them 40 billion to help shore up their failing economy, because they're in league with him and some of his other rich buddies, and they weren't want to lose their money. So, you know, another little tax break welfare for the billionaires, the real welfare queens of the world, my people. Let's see, they cut billions from SNAP benefits, also from Medicaid and Medicare, to also help justify the big old tax cuts for their rich buddies and other billionaires. And to cover the price for Trump, so he have his own little private police force, also known as ICE. Inflation is ticking back up and is still a problem because nothing is doing anything for it. It's a miracle it hasn't shot up any higher than it has. Um, let's see. Yes. Oh, yes. Again, grocery utility prices are still going higher and higher. And my electric bill this month was the highest I have ever seen living here. And I've been here almost 5 years. And it's not like it was super cold or anything either, but it was way up because of some kind of environmental surcharge that they're throwing on there, which I think has more to do with the fact that they're trying to get a data center in Maysville. But who am I to think such things? Um, Doge check? Yeah, that didn't happen. Tariff check? Yeah, that's not going to happen. The deficit is growing by leaps and bounds and trillions in just a few months. Let's see. And along with that, Trump's own personal wealth is going up. He's gotten something like 3 to 5 billion this year. I think him and his family, between corrupt crypto deals and unregulated wealth transfers and all the little private gifts that everybody's been giving him, because, it's not like we have corruption laws or anything like that. I mean, every president has done this, right? I mean, every year we see the CEOs come into the White House to give their yearly tithe to the president. That always happens, right? And I mean, it's no wonder they don't want to regulate anything to do with crypto, because it's the perfect scheme. The perfect scheme for corruption and quid pro quo, because it's not traceable. No one wants to trace it. I mean, you could trace it, but they don't want to, so. And there's no law that says they have to. So there you go. Millions of Americans' premiums, healthcare premiums, are shooting up right now, or have shot up, thanks to the Republicans' complete lack of interest in helping the working person or the common person in America. And even if you weren't someone who got your insurance from the ACA, just the fact that those prices are going to go up, which means people are going to get out of the healthcare market, that's going to drive up the premiums of everybody. I know my personal premium went up about a little over, I think it was 11 or 12% this year when I calculated it. It's not a little amount of money. Trump has bombed 7 different countries since he took office again. And now we've also kidnapped a foreign head of state because they want oil in Venezuela. But he thinks he should get a Nobel Peace Prize for that. Don't forget the Epstein files, and how every time they put a few more out, he just keeps looking worse and worse and worse. There's just one more person who's accusing him of rape or touching them, or there's one more person who says that he was there, or, oh, actually he was on the plane, like a lot more than we thought he was. Oh, Lord. The Jack Smith deposition with the Republican-led oversight committee, because they wouldn't have it in public. It had to be a closed-door session. The deposition looked so bad for Republicans that they didn't put it out until New Year's Eve night, in the middle of the night, hoping that it would just evaporate into the ether. And, no one's talking about it. You know why? Because we went to war with Venezuela, I mean, it's so bad, even Thomas Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene are talking out about it. I mean, that's something. That is something. I mean, if you're still with these guys, I can only assume that your brain has been turned to mush and you are a victim of extreme propaganda, because otherwise, the other option is that you're just a terrible human being who is completely devoid of empathy or lack of care for anyone or anything outside of your own little teeny tiny bubble. Your pop can, your can. That's what we used to call it. It's like nothing outside of your can. You don't worry about anything outside of your can. Let's see. Oh, don't forget screwing over Ukraine, and kicking them to the curb. Now we're also threatening Mexico and China and Canada and Greenland again. How he's sucking on Putin's tiny little Putin. tearing down a third of the White House on a whim, spending all of his time picking out marble for the ballroom and the arch and the Kennedy Center, just throwing his name up onto the Kennedy Center, all the millions that he spent on golf, and it's like in the hundreds of millions, I think, for security and travel and everything else, just so he can, waddle around with his fat little butt on some green grass, cheating with his tiny little balls. And RFK Jr., oh my God. RFK Jr., if what Elon and Rubio and Trump did USAID was bad, RFK Jr. is alone probably just as bad, arguably maybe even worse, because he has gutted the CDC and the National Health Services and just cut all kinds of money for medical research, for cancer research, vaccine research. They're screwing around with the vaccine schedule and spreading just pure disinformation to everybody and everything. Measles outbreaks are through the roof. Whooping cough outbreaks like we've never had before. This is one of the worst flu outbreaks in decades. And because of these people, things like the mRNA vaccine tech that was being studied to help create cancer cures, HIV cures, a much stronger flu virus, antivirus flu vaccine, all that is gone. And the young, bright minds that were going to lead on this research and make all this happen for the next generation, they're gone too. They're either going to Europe or they're going to China. But they're not here. So all that innovation, all that creativity that could have been funneled into American businesses, generating American dollars and, increasing America's stature in the world, it's all gone. It's all gone. Don't forget Gaza. How Trump has just let the Israel admin just basically commit genocide there. But it's more dead kids, so they apparently don't care about that. I mean, it's dead kids around the world by starving to death. It's dead kids all around the country who are going to be dying from measles and whooping cough and flu and everything else, Hep B and Hep A and all the crap. And they're not going to stop screwing with the schedule. They're going to try to cut more. They will. You just wait and see. Yeah. So, I mean, a few more dead kids in another country in the Middle East, they don't care. There's thousands and thousands of dead kids, they don't care. Oh, yeah, this has been the most pro-China government, I think, in modern history. Due to everything they've done with tariffs and pulling back with soft power influences like with USAID, and how they're shrinking their sphere of influence, cutting themselves out of all these different organizations around the world. All of that has allowed China to greatly increase their influence around the world. They're building out clean energy power to power their AI. While we're over here busy trying to suck up more oil, they're making trade deals with Canada and Argentina and taking any other market share that we might try to grab because we're trying to cut ourselves off from them, so much from them, and tariff the crap out of them. Well, all these other people are mad because we're tariffing everybody else too. So they don't want to deal with us. So they deal with China. China isn't tariffing them. China's like, we don't know what's going on over there, guys. Seriously, we are as confused as you are. But if the Americans going to act like that, listen, we are happy to take your business. And stuff like that doesn't get fixed every 4 years. You can't have some crazy a-hole screwing everything up for 4 years, and then you get some sane people or halfway sane people in office, and all of a sudden everyone's going to be like, oh, well, China, now we got the halfway sane people. We're just going to go back to them. It doesn't work like that, especially not if the Chinese are stable. I mean, it's a communist dictatorship, but you know what? At least when I do business, I think they're not throwing off random tariffs at me all the time, trying to changing the deal every other day based on junk. At least I'm getting what I'm getting. So yeah. Oh, and don't forget, there was this whole press conference in the White House, the Oval Office, or somewhere, where Trump was like, "Oh, we're so excited to welcome in hundreds of thousands of Chinese students on H-1B visas or something." What? What happened to America first? If you're bringing in hundreds of thousands of students from outside the country, especially China, aren't those hundreds of thousands of student positions and roles and internships that American students are therefore not getting? So are we America first, or what are we exactly? That doesn't seem very America first. So yeah. He's touting this stupid Don Roe doctrine. It's not the Monroe it's the Don Roe doctrine, because I gotta put my name on everything, like I'm a 5-year-old princess who is just, so mine. Gotta have my name on everything. Yeah, that involves us controlling our hemisphere of influence, and then other superpowers kind of carving up the other parts of the world, and they take care of their side, we take care of our side. So you realize that's a downgrade, right? That they have taken us from being the superpower of the world, with influence and reach all over, hard power, soft power, diplomacy and military all over the world, tinkering and fiddling with things all to our own ways and desires and the ways that are best for America, kind of helping, making everything that's good for us. But now we're just going to worry about our little piece of the world over here. So what you're saying is, you big fat boys just don't have what it takes to project real American strength and power across the world. So you're just going to settle for our side of it. Okay, I get it. Big, strong, manly guys, but you just aren't that strong and manly. Gotcha. And now we've attacked Venezuela and kidnapped their leader, Maduro. Bad guy, sure. But if anyone else had done that to anyone else, we would call it an act of war. And we are doing it. But we are doing it not to free the people from the horrible dictatorship regime of Maduro. No, they're all still there. Not to bring out a people-powered democracy and hold elections. No, because they just waved away the leader of the opposition party that was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize because Trump was jealous of her. No, they went in for the oil, and he said that straight out. The oil execs knew more about what was going on than people in Congress did when things were starting to happen. Oil, Venezuelan oil, that is too crude apparently to be used mostly for actual fuel. It's used for other stuff, oils and grease and other things. So for the most part, we'll do this will all do little to nothing to actually help people in the States or lower prices on gas or anything like that. But I'm sure somehow it will make Trump richer as people buy more of his crypto to get favors from the US government for things that they want there. And then, of course, yesterday, there was the murder of a woman, Renee Good, in her car trying to move out of the way and comply with the ICE officers that were telling her to get out and to clear the way. And then all of a sudden they were trying to surround her car. So what does she do? Well, she tries to get out of the situation. And then what do? They shoot her in the face. They kill her on the street. These cosplay G.I. Joe Proud Boy wannabes that don't have any actual training and are looking for any opportunity to pull someone out of their car or to pull a gun on someone. I watched the videos. I saw every one of them, the slow-mos and everything. And the guy that murdered that poor woman should go to jail. And the rest of them there, they also should go to jail for accomplices in murder. So, all of that being said, a lot of bad stuff, I know. But even so, I do think this has a potential to be at least a year of change. I feel it. I think a lot of that is bolstered by the fact that across the country, special elections in nearly everything. I mean, the only one I can think of, there was a special election in Tennessee for a congressional seat, and the Republican won, but it was a heavily red district, one that I think Trump had won in the past by like 20 some odd points. The Republicans did win, but they won by single digits. And you can't say it was because, it was a off-year election and there was as many people voting. No, because the number of people that voted in that election was the same that voted during the presidential election. So, I mean, it's... And the numbers shifted that much. And across the country, special elections and houses and state elections, governorships, even a couple of state elections for like Georgia utility commissioners. Nearly all of them have been a clean sweep towards the Democratic side. And while I agree, Democrats have a lot of problems that they need to address that has a lot to do with people who've been there too long and are still trying to play by the rules, and they don't understand the moment of the situation. It's still preferable to what's going on now with these people. So it gives me hope that things can start to change this year. Don't get me wrong, it's still probably not going to be a good year. It's still going to be a lot of crap that's going to happen. Obviously, that poor woman got shot. This sudden, unprovoked attack on Venezuela. The complete and utter just flouting of the law, especially when it comes to releasing the Epstein documents. They were supposed to release all of them like a month ago, and then they were supposed to release a reason for all the redactions like a week ago. Nothing. Just nothing. And all of a sudden, there's like millions of more somewhere. Oh, you're just finding those now, huh? Wow. Surprising. But you know what? I expected that. I expected that they would just leak this stuff out, little drip by little drip. And they're just damning themselves. That's all they're doing. And they are keeping it themselves in the news cycle. And they do crap like this, hoping that it will help to get people away from it. But it won't, because you know what? Even though we attacked another country and took their head of state, even that especially in today's news cycles, even that doesn't have enough staying power to be in the news. Not like the Epstein files. It's not salacious enough. It's not it, but it's true. I mean, it is. It's a lot of horrible incest, and I don't know what words does YouTube not like. I don't know, but it doesn't grab people enough, and so anyway, yeah. So they'll screw the pooch on that, and more bad things will happen. Lots of more bad things probably, and more children are going to die because of these people, because of these deranged vaccine denying health nuts who also just recently tried to flip the food pyramid and say that, oh, you need to you need to focus on all kinds of dairy and cheese and red meat. I mean, that just sounds like the perfect recipe to increase heart attacks probably 2 or 3 fold in this country if everybody actually followed that stupid nonsense. Anyway, so when saner people get back in office, and one day they will, I am looking forward to the day that that will be airing Nuremberg 2.0 on the nightly news. I'm going to pop the popcorn for that because it needs to happen. And I think if we stay awake, stay present, stay engaged, and every chance you have trying to vote, I think we'll start to see some change this year. So, anyways, that's my review of the year. A few words of hope. Stay frosty out there, Spartans, and we'll see how things are going here in another week or two. Until then.